Здравствуйте, уважаемые друзья! Утро, за бортом 19 градусов. Температура сегодня прогреется до 19 градусов воздуха. И сейчас я делаю это видео с записью утренних новостей на английском языке, но уже канадских. Радио Канада, собственно, посмотрите, о чем говорит канадское радио. Пока слушаем всякие рекламные модули, прочее. Ну а потом начнется непосредственно новостной блок.
This is CBC News. Good morning, it's 10 o'clock. I'm Christy Snell with the CBC News from Montreal. Hurricane Durian, which is being described as a monster storm, is expected to make landfall Monday of next week somewhere along the east coast of Florida. Carolyn Dunn has the latest.
Hurricane Durian has already been categorized as the strongest in this year's Atlantic storm season. Assuming it stays on course, it will be the strongest hurricane to hit Florida's east coast since the devastating Hurricane Andrew back in 1992. So Florida has already declared a state of emergency in its 67 counties. State Governor Ron DeSantis says it has 1.8 million meals on hand for emergency distribution, and it's stockpiled more than 3 million liters of water. Many residents are taking action too, getting cash, water, and food stores at the ready. If Dorian hits landfall by Labor Day, it will be the fourth time in the last 4 years people in that state will have endured a hurricane. The storm is still too far away to predict exactly where it could land, somewhere between Key West and Jacksonville. Until then, Floridians can only watch and hope it changes course. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Washington.
The Canadian economy has seen its strongest 3-month stretch of growth in 2 years, according to Statistics Canada. New numbers out this morning show economic growth at a pace of 3.7% in the second quarter. The agency says the rebound was led by a surge in sectors like energy products and aircraft. Canadian military helicopters in Mali will cease flight operations tomorrow, ending just over a year-long deployment to the troubled West African nation. And as the CBC's Murray Brewster reports, the commander of the mission says it's left a mark on everyone who took part.
Canada's Chinook helicopters kick up an enormous brown dust ball when they set down in the Malian desert, bringing life-saving evacuation to wounded peacekeepers. For Colonel Travis Morin, the end is a bittersweet moment. His 6-month tour started on the same day in January when Al-Qaeda-linked militants attacked and killed 10 African peacekeepers at a remote UN base.
And it was a really, not even a stark reminder, it was a stark introduction of how vigilant we needed to be and how important this mission was to MINUSMA.
Romania takes over from Canada. Its helicopters, however, are not as well equipped, and the crew will need further tutoring from Canadians in the beginning. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
A new law requiring Ontario gas stations to start posting anti-carbon tax stickers goes into effect today. Earlier this year, the Ontario Progressive Conservatives passed the law that makes it mandatory for station operators to post the stickers on their pumps. The stickers show the amount of money the federal carbon tax adds to the price of a tank of gas, but it says nothing about the rebates available to offset the cost. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the law will be enforced, although the government says right now the focus will be on education and compliance. In Hong Kong, a crackdown on the pro-democracy movement appears to be underway. Arrests have been made and a major weekend protest has been shut down. Adrian Arsenault reports.
The civil rights group behind some of the biggest, most peaceful protests this summer had planned one for Saturday, but the government unusually refused to authorize it. So does this mean the government has won? Well, activists say not a chance. And don't be surprised if the most hardcore activists still go to the streets. They insist this just angers them more, as does the campaign of intimidation that really seems to be building here. Friday morning, the young prominent activist Joshua Wong, who's such a key figure in the umbrella movement of 2014, was arrested on his way to a subway station. Agnes Chow, another prominent figure, was arrested at her home. An activist who has long pushed for Hong Kong independence was picked up at the airport. And it's clear Hong Kong is desperate to shut this movement down and has plenty of options still available. A blocking of social media, and maybe even a ban on people wearing masks in public. And there remains the nuclear option, military intervention from China. Adrian Arsenault, CBC News, Hong Kong.
Meanwhile, the two protest organizers arrested today, Joshua Wong and Agnes Chow, have been charged with inciting a demonstration, and they've been released on bail. And that was the CBC News.
Ну, в общем, на мой взгляд, самое интересное было это по поводу того, что с сегодняшнего дня должны быть наклейки наклеены на автозаправочных станциях, которые показывают, сколько в стоимости бензина находится доля carbon taxes. Это вот то, что платят компании в качестве налога за то, что типа они выбрасывают что-то в атмосферу. То есть это в целях борьбы за экологию, за то, чтобы меньше выбрасывали в окружающую среду. Интересно будет посмотреть. Я надеюсь, это, вы, в принципе, вы понимаете, это новостной блок, он был онтарийский, скорее всего, потому что там по поводу Дага Форда заговорили и его позиции в этом отношении. Потому что он собирается представить это дело в суде, по-моему, даже подал в суд иск против государства, что типа пошли его нафиг со своим carbon tax. Вот, но как бы то ни было, он сказал, что пока он будет как бы следовать закону, он будет его исполнять, но тем не менее протест уже подан или собирается подаваться. Интересно посмотреть, сколько мы будем платить этот самый carbon tax в наших ценах на бензин. Ну, собственно, все. Затем откланиваюсь. Хорошего дня и счастливо. Пока.